All right, guys, here we are back once again for the Renegade Master on the cross of planning. Are you planning? What are you planning? Are we keep on planning? Let's see what the 3-5 has to say today. I like the name of this third line humility. Humility. Are you humility? It's tough thing, humility, in a vain world. The line itself is just about avoiding negative influence. Don't make deals with the wrong people, is basically the underlying theme. But of course, what a joke. It's a third line. You can see that there have been, looking at the fourth cascade, three of the lines that have blue lead. This is one of them. Humility is something you learn. It's not something you're born with. It's something that can come to you. In many ways, it's about learning to enjoy the advantages of the bargain. There are advantages. We've seen that with our modern civilization. I would rather live in this civilization than to be live in some pre-Columbian whatever to get to some exotic corner of our planet now where we got people that are living basically still Stone Age lives. I'm quite happy with the advantages of our civilization. I'm very accepting of what is. It is clear to me that the third line humility can learn that. It can see that it's possible for the third line being to find a way to get the best out of the bargain, to get the best out of the bargain materially, to get the best out of the bargain in terms of their needs. After all, this is a stream of need that goes down to the 1949. There's a great deal of neediness inherited in all of this. The 3-5 has the enormous problem of dealing with projecting in its life that it's so difficult for us to satisfy. It's so hard to be a 3-5 and prove yourself. It's just so hard. The expectation, the projection on you that you've always got it, that you've always going to make it, that it's always going to work. And you can see in the configuration is that when somebody meets the 3-5, they're hoping that they're going to get off this. Is at least that you're going to get those things that they really can enjoy out of the bargain. I put up with that tough stuff. Give me something I can enjoy. I will accept it. It's not perfect. I know it's not perfect. I see the mistakes, but give me something that I can enjoy. Don't expect from me what I cannot be delivered. I'm a second line 40 in my Mars, and I understand the nature of the resoluteness because I know what happens to me in these bonds that I get through the 37th. I realize that I see that I'm helpless. There's nothing I can do but survive it. I don't even have the advantage of the third line that says, hey, while you're surviving it, they're going to be good moments. Mm. And the third line finds them. Remember, they can really discover. They find these little things. It's the 3-5 that if you want to find out who wrote 80% of the positions in the Kama Sutra, it's a 3-5 here, working it out. Okay, we can enjoy it this way. That didn't work. Well, that always happens. Things don't work. You're not hurt? No? Okay. So let's try this one. Maybe this one will work. And when we find out that works, let's enjoy it. We can mix this into our bargain. And of course, you can take that through the many levels. The other thing about it in this way is when you look at the cross, you're a slave. You're a slave to work, and not everybody's here to work. I'm not. I don't have a sacral. Work is an alien thing. I'm okay with being alive, which is enough work, but the idea that my motor has to be on all the time, this is not interesting to me. Now remember that the ego must work, otherwise the tribe starves. And when we have the 4037, you have automatically this I have to work or the tribe starves. The work is that I do. It's like doing this. As a 40th gate, all I'm doing is saying, all right, I'm feeding my kids. I'm doing it for my children. It's actually one of my jokes because Jovian Archive Corporation is owned by my children, not me. It's really a 40-second line trip. I'm doing it all for you. Aren't you wonderful? Look at how hard I'm working for you. They're terrible. Don't let me tell them that. It's really tough. If I had the 4037, then I'd be down on their knees. Thank you, Papa. Keep working. Do a good job. They have to work. And the trap of the ego is that it can only feel good when it's working. So you got to work hard, okay? For someone else and not working for the sense that it has to be the boss, but working for somebody else that it can get something back. I'm doing this for you, honey. And if I don't, or if you, I don't want to do X, Y, Z, you do it, right? Something like that. I'm doing this for you. You can tell that what kind of fights people have. You're doing it all for yourself. Don't you tell me that shit. You're doing it for you. And I didn't scream at you and ask you for money. I wouldn't get any. Don't tell me you're doing it for me. What about that bank account that I can't get access to? You're doing that for me? It's a bargain after all. And the bargain is the moment that you have the 43rd amendment. The bargain is that you got to work. And you got to work for somebody. If you don't work for somebody, it's terrible. You might as well work for your own genetic material. I work for genetic material. May my boys be as good as Genghis Khan or something like that. Huh? I read this funny article the other day that there are more blonde-eyed blue Danes in the world than there should be. And one of the most successful sperm labs in the world for women who cannot produce is in Denmark. You've got all these 18-year-old Danes masturbating in a clinic and they're impregnating the planet. You've got all these blue-eyed, blonde-haired Danes being born all over the place. It's very funny. So you have to see that when you're in this cross and when you're in an emotional cycle of work, reward, work, reward, work, reward, and all of that is rooted in support. I'm supporting you by working. You're supporting me by being grateful. That's the tribe's idea of how you make duality work. Obviously, we know what happens to the 3-5. The 3-5 is going to be demanding attention and getting it. The fifth line, unconscious, automatically demands attention. It automatically creates a projected field that it says, I can be your saint, your savior, your Buddha, your bodhisattva, your perfect working machine, when in fact it may not be so. And then, of course, the crash of the 3-5, and it doesn't come right away, and it has to be ratcheted up. And at some point, you have your partner screaming at you that you have filled in the bargain. It's very painful. 40-37s are very different than people that have either the 40 or the 37. They're very, very different. It's very obvious. If you're one on the other and you don't have the whole thing, and you meet people that have the whole thing, because it's the difference between an inactive gate or a dormant gate, or a gate that is basically inanimate to what it means to be a definition. These crosses that are definitions are always concretized life force. Then we get to the 3-6, very short. It's interesting again in this quarter. The 3-6 can end up working for a partner that doesn't give it anything that it wants and actually will put up with it. They just put up with it. If you really want to see the humility that's possible in this profile, you won't really find it in the 3-5, but you find it in the 3-6. There's a level of it is what it is, and this is the way it is. Remember that the tribe will never challenge duality as a way. Never. They will just emotionally and through their ego with their problems that it brings naturally into their lives. That's it. Wow. All right. So that's it. Thank you very much. Very good. Long 3-5, short 3-6.